one of the issues that was brought up by the workforce was the ability to hone their skills on some larger work. Really have an open door policy with all employees. I expect them to go to their supervisors and table issues. However, they need sponsorship for a specific issue, they feel free to call me or stop in. So I received a call from one of my linemen here, Dustin Miller. He was walking down a job with tech. Generally, this type of work would be given to contractors. Dustin asked that this would be a good job we keep in-house.
The reconductoring job came about, Dave Engelman, our senior tech down here, came to me with some questions about it, and comes to me with me having a lineman background, asked me quite a few questions about jobs, and said, hey, would you be willing to look at this job? I have a few questions. So I went out and looked at it with him before any of our leaders got the opportunity to look at it. He had said that there's a possibility we could do it, but it was sounding like it was going to go to contractors. At that point, I asked Dave if he'd be willing to meet with our leader out there to get the leader's perspective and have any input from them, trying to get more people involved with the job. Dave was all for that. He's all about meeting with our employees daily. You know, they have that good interaction back and forth. And next thing you know, Dustin went out on the job with him, met with him, decided what would be good, how we could break the job down from it being a larger 1,800 hour job to break it down into a piece where we might be able to continue to maintain it ourselves.
Well, the key thing was in terms of the crewing. So reaching out to other service centers and discussing the resources of, we might need a few people from Bethlehem to come, one person from Allentown to come, and you know, Scott coordinated that with the other foremen. I reached out to the other schedulers to let them know, like, this is what the plan is, and so we just have to reflect that in our scheduling tools so that everyone knows these are the actual resources for the rest of the planned work, and then this is who's going to be taken out of the schedule to focus on this one job for the 3 weeks that it's going on.
So Ron Shepard, our field manager, T&D in Lehigh, contacts me. Is this something we think we can do? Sit down, we get the details, we find out who wants to be involved, what's involved there. And it's a real simple thing to just work up an agreement to do this. What's happened here over the last couple of years has been night and day, 180 degrees opposite of what we were dealing with in the past. There was no cooperation. Quite frankly, everything was a fight, and we've gotten beyond a lot of that.
Months ago, bargaining unit line leadership was doing part of their job walk downs with the engineering department, pre-design. So I came out here with an engineer and we looked at the job and decided that based on the amount of man hours, the remote reportability from the substation, so we're about a half mile away from a sub, and that we're also somewhat centrally located between 3 different areas, that we would be able to pull guys and remote report from a substation to work a reconductoring job, which is work that we don't typically see a lot of and some of us aren't as familiar with, and it's also very enjoyable for us as workers. It was slated to go to contractors, and then we decided that we were able to man it ourselves and that it would be a great experience for us, and we were able to give the training to some of the guys that haven't seen as much of it.
In my shop, I mean, you can definitely see a difference in the job planning. It seemed to be before, early on when I started, I mean, job packs would come incomplete, wrong, already done. It does seem like they're planned a little better now.
Planning, you know, of course the linemen and, you know, managers and, you know, different ways we set up jobs and come together more and get the job executed on time, and we have everything we need, personnel and materials.
My foreman had said that there was a volunteer opportunity, so I volunteered. That's pretty much it. It's just a good opportunity for us to work with other folks that we don't normally get to work with, and see their ways of doing things, and see that that they're working as safely and to the same standards as what we know.
feel like since I've been here, they kind of preach, you know, everyone's opinion matters, don't be afraid to say something. And I think it's really practiced in the field.
The biggest difference is when you have 6 guys that want to be at the same spot together, want to work these hours, get along, and want to see the job through. You know, everyone's taking pride in this job. That's paramount.